Do you have unreasonably high standards? Well, if you do, then you're in good company. Today we'll be taking a closer look at the nuances of everyday interactions that make up the monotony of life. Let's clip your nails, scoop them into your hands, pop them in the bin, and still feel like you're disgusting. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Now, as the great disruptor, it's the great dictator, the Charlie Chaplin film. As the great disruptor in this podcast,
Yes.
we're not going to start with it before we get started.
I'm soggy.
I'm going to hijack it because I have a Rooibos challenge.
And we'll never buy Rooibos. Don't know if it's just me. It's got nothing to do with tea. We just want everything for free.
For those of us who have been with us for a while, you might remember that we had a professional singer record that. It's Georgia Brooks. It's a friend of the podcast. Georgia is an amazing singer,
If you like jazz singing, keep an eye out for Georgia Brooks. Maybe at the Paris Cat. She does gigs every month or so.
Yeah, and maybe at the end of the gig, she might serenade you with the Rooibos challenge theme music.
But we do thank Georgia for her efforts in the show.
And
This is what, 7 years after she recorded it?
So anyway, I came across a product online that absorbs ethylene gas, and ethylene gas is produced by fruits, vegetables, foods in the fridge, and it causes those foods to spoil. Anyway, I was like, these things are $70 each. They're expensive, and you need 2 or 3 in your fridge. But they make your produce last a lot longer.
Are they sheets of paper?
No.
No, but are they?
Very expensive sheets of paper. No, they're like little plastic contraptions with a substance inside them that
Plastic contraption with a substance.
Oh, because
come on.
I owned some that were sheets of paper that had this,
Oh.
like a fenugreek, or there was like a...
No, these aren't Greek. They're Australian made. Anyway, there's $70 each, and you need 2 or 3 in your fridge. So it's going to cost me $200, but they last 3 years. And I was like, this is a worthwhile investment. I'm going to buy these. It's a lot of money, but apparently your fruits and vegetables can last like 2, 3, 4 days longer.
Isn't that crazy that the natural rotting process
can be stopped?
Can be stopped, and
Yeah.
we're trying to stop it.
That's not that weird though.
It is weird.
You're playing God, okay?
But if you didn't want heart disease, you just go and exercise. You can have a go at people.
but they want to rot.
Who do? Hearts.
The fruit. The fruit.
The fruit actually didn't want to be picked. That's where you're wrong.
That exactly.
Okay, so you're saying that this more or less creates its like embryonic environment.
Yeah, it does. No, it creates a more. I guess it's. I don't know if it's more.
It staves off death.
No, wait, but it's less. But is it more artificial? Anyway, this isn't the point of this.
Yeah,
This isn't the point. But anyway, so I ordered 3, and the package was delivered a few days later. And I looked outside, and the package wasn't there. So I checked the photo. You know how the delivery drivers take a photo, and it was delivered to another person's house. Anyway, so I wrote to the neighbor.
Did you know which house it was?
Sorry. So no. So no, I didn't. I didn't know whose house it was, but I sent a photo to my mum, and my mum was like, "Oh, I think that I recognize that house from when I was looking at fences back in the day." It was
Incredible.
like round the corner.
What?
Yeah, really, really, really weird. Anyway, so I went up to the house and I rang the doorbell. No answer. So I wrote a note to the neighbor. And in the meantime, I wrote a note saying, "Hey, contact me. Something's been misdelivered to your place." So then emailed the company to tell them. And Christian, I've got a bit, and I've sent you the email correspondence here. Christian, would you like to read out the first bit of correspondence?
Hi team, just a heads up that Ozpost delivered this package today to the wrong address. My address is 18 Smith Street, but they delivered to 18 Jones Street. I visited the house. It was apparently delivered to and tried to ring the doorbell, but no one answered. I will try again tomorrow and have raised a case with Ozpost. Just wanted to keep you in the loop. Kind regards, Dion.
So then they replied quite quickly to that.
I'll be the company.
Please do.
Hey, Dion. There's a big explanation on that.
There is.
Hey, Dion. I'm so sorry about this. Please keep us in the loop regarding your order and the outcome from Ozpost. If they can't provide a solution, we'd be more than happy to reship your order. Thanks again for supporting us.
And then a few days later, I followed up with them because the neighbor hadn't got back to me yet.
Thanks, team. If I read, is this actually how you sent it? No comma?
Probably not.
Let me read it how it would be read out loud.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, team. From the look of the mailbox, it's full of letters. It looks like the owners are away. No idea when they'll be back. Thanks, team. Oh my God.
Anyway, and then finally,
were you driving when you
no, it was quick because I didn't think that it would have any effect. I just thought my thought
he was
Yeah.
keeping them in the loop as they
Yeah.
requested.
I was keeping them in the loop, but my thought, I probably was driving, to be honest. That's why I wrote thanks team 3 times. And then I was waiting, and the reason why I sent that last message to them was I was like, I just want to leave it with them. I want to see what they do in this situation, and then finally got an email from them. And I hadn't picked up the package because the neighbor hadn't contacted me. Finally got an email from them.
Hi, Dion. I've just processed a free replacement order. Hopefully you receive it early next week. Please let me know. Prayer hands.
Prayer hands, and that's
Cheers
from
from
the
Jonathan, the co-founder.
Co-founder.
So I managed to escalate the issue without even effortlessly. That's I mean
Yes,
that's what
yeah.
being that's what over the years this sort of experience has obviously
yes.
lent
They read the
itself-
subtext.
It goes straight to the CEO inbox. So they sent me out. So I initially ordered 3. They sent me out another 3, and then the neighbor contacted me and said, "Hey, got your package. Come pick it up." So I've got 6 of these things.
I've got your mum. Come pick her up. She's looking at our fences again.
I've got 6 of these things. My question to you is that obviously great Rooibos, but what would you do in this situation? Because there's a 90-day guarantee as well on them.
Yep.
So I can send them all back if I want. But what would you do in this situation?
I would use this as an opportunity to create a friendship with your neighbor and gift them those 3 and then explain where they came from.
I did not consider that. So they're not my neighbor and they're around the corner. So they're not real neighbors per se. They're 18 of another street.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So unless you're wanting to make neighbor friends that are around the corner.
Eskimo neighbors or something, don't they?
But then I guess for myself, it would then go to friends. Unless they're like used very quickly.
No, well, they last 3 years.
Yeah, so then put the offer out to friends.
But then I'm still $200 down.
No, you're not.
No, I am because I've paid for $200,
sorry,
but I've
that's
got
how much,
but I've got
each.
double the produce. So, Josh, what would you do in this situation?
I would email the co-founder and go, "Oh my God, that's incredible. Thanks so much. Can't wait to use them." Whatever, right? Oh,
Yep.
they just arrived. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Leave it at that. They don't need to know that the real ones turned up. You have chosen to spend that $200 odd on the product.
Here it is.
So you should gift that to someone, be it a family member or a friend, to be like, "This is a fantastic product." You in your mind, you've gone, "I'm happy to spend this money." You don't need to make that money back by selling it on.
Oh, so your instinct is I want to come out of this with $0 spent.
I could sell this on and have the product for free. That's what you're saying in your mind.
Sell it on, or they've got a 90-day return
Definitely
policy.
don't do that.
that's
the dirtiest.
That's despicable.
yes.
But also, if you look at this product,
Can we make sure this podcast gets to Jonathan?
if you look at this product though, it's a very
piece of shit. Doesn't work.
it's very like it's nothing. It's a plastic case with some. You're paying for the IP of the stuff that's in there that they don't reveal.
I was gonna say,
So it's Greek.
So it's not.
It's
better.
the readiness of him to ship new ones makes me go, I don't think the cost price is as
Exactly.
big
So low.
as you're
Exactly.
making out.
Hang on,
Exactly.
but does that mean it warrants you?
I don't know. Let the listeners decide.
I'm
We've got a poll up on our website.
I'm also speaking from very personal experience.
Yes.
That many, many, many moons ago, my eldest brother, I don't know if I've mentioned on the podcast before, he purchased a monitor worth about $800, 24-inch Dell. Big deal back in the day. Right, about $800. He got shipped 2 to his work.
Oh.
So then he's on-sold one, so he essentially got that monitor for free. Whereas I was like, give it to your brother.
Yeah.
You got a free monitor. You were ready to spend that money. That's my biggest thing. You were happy to spend
Yeah.
that
I mean,
money. You don't need that money
Josh,
back.
this is the second time you've told this story on the podcast. Have you told him directly?
Of course not. Can we make sure my brother listens to this podcast?
Co-founder of the Porter family.
My memory was that I thought you got that monitor for free.
No. Like he retired when he got his new one. I inherited it.
I
but the
see.
new one, he sold that on to get the monitor for free because you want your little fridge.
So
things
wait,
for
are we
free.
saying that there's ethics in the Rooibos challenge? I didn't expect. We've come a long way on this podcast.
No. Can I just say that you, in terms of Rooibos challenge, you got the free replacement.
That's
Yeah.
top.
You won the
that's
challenge.
Top Rooibos.
What happens afterwards is separate from the Rooibos challenge.
I give it $20 each.
If you will remember, Dion, one
Yes.
of the things we used to say the Rooibos challenge was about
Yeah.
was consumer justice.
Oh shit! I didn't do the intro.
That's fine.
Yeah,
but
shit.
we used to say it was about consumer
Of
justice. Justice is well. You don't
Yeah.
need the money back. Justice has been served. You're up on the scales
The
of
scales,
justice
yeah.
are heavily weighted in your favor already.
They
She's
are-
struggling.
I mean, she's blindfolded and she's got this weight.
Oh, my
What am
shoulder.
OH&S at this courthouse. It's rubbish.
Oh god. All right. Well, I thought you'd both say return it, then you $0. You got a fridge friend
Because
No
that's what
way.
you
the name
want
of
to
the
do,
product.
and that's what you want.
They'll
You want
know.
to validate.
They'll know if you do that.
Hang on.
though.
What about the ethic of me talking about this on the podcast? What about if someone goes and buys a fridge friend then?
Oh, hang on. Here's
Wait,
the-
is it called Fridge Friend?
Fridge friend.
Oh, well, don't say the name of the product.
Yeah, should I? It's a friend of the. It's a friend. It's a friend. Of the fridge.
we got a dump button for a reason.
Maybe I could say my actual address
That
if you
is
beep it.
so annoying that you press that button because right before we started recording, I told Josh to scrap that button because we hadn't used it in
never used it.
138 podcasts.
You wanted to scrap that button?
Great dump button.
It's the first time we've used it.
The one thing I will say though, Dion. So the one thing about is, does the product work?
I don't know. It takes a while to kick in.
About 91 days.
Yeah, really good.
What do you mean
really good.
it takes a while to kick in?
They say 2 to 4 weeks until you start to notice a difference.
Okay.
Why?
Because it's a science that you don't understand.
It's a piece of plastic with a material inside.
No,
It's
no,
an
no.
organic compound inside.
No, you don't know it's organic. I didn't say it's organic.
What is it?
Could be organic. I don't know. That's the
So
IP.
you're
That's what's
happy
expensive.
with a material you don't know sitting in and living with your fruit and veg.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with putting anything in my body. I'm happy with COVID vaccines.
Can I just say-
everything? I know what's in everything.
Can I just say-
I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
Christian referred to that as living in your fridge. Like they just pull up a couch.
You don't know what happens when the fridge door's closed.
Hang on. This is a fridge
Can't see
friend.
anything.
This is a fridge friend
It
as
is a
well,
fridge
so it's a
friend.
literal friend.
Yeah. I have a very similar story to when you saying that your mum found it by looking at the fence. My partner and I once
bizarre.
ordered Uber Eats, and the food was not delivered to the front of the property. And when you looked at the photo of where it was delivered, the only thing that we could see in the photo was that there was a brick wall behind the order.
Oh, it's like GeoGuessr.
But that's literally it. It was a brick background with the bag in front. And because she lived in Melbourne, there's an area in Brunswick West.
Yeah.
And there is a place in Brunswick West called Brickworks.
Oh yeah.
And that was the tenuous connection that I had, which was their bricks.
Fantastic.
I'm going to go walk around Brickworks, which was about 1K down the road. So I went and walked around Brickworks and
That's
saw
so
her
good.
fucking order sitting at the front of someone's door.
Great.
That's amazing.
It was an incredible find.
Have you watched the GeoGuessr guy? I mean, it sounds like
yeah,
it's Christian. GeoGuessr is a game online where you get a tiny little smidgen of Street View and these ridiculous whiz.
Yeah, they just
people-
assess like the sign, the trees, the type of soil, and they go, I think that's in this part of Mexico, and they're like,
Yeah, the
really,
signposts
really
are
close.
only like that in
It's
Norway.
crazy.
Unbelievable.
Just on,
useless skill.
on the photos of the food at Series, we were told that when you drop off the groceries and you take the photo, give context.
Great.
So they
In
were like,
case.
don't just have it so close that you can't tell and all you can see is a brick wall.
Yeah.
Have it so you can kind of see the label, but
Yeah.
you can also give context so you know if it's your house.
Yep.
And I think they should all be trained that way.
I would like to say, Josh, that you took that very seriously and you took perfect photos for every delivery.
I gave a shit.
Yeah, there are so many times that I look at those photos and it's just a blur of a back
Yeah.
and you go, how fast are they moving with these deliveries that they can't stop for a second to
They're
take?
moving fast. It's literally their job.
What?
The movement. movement.
Hang on,
movement
moving
is
fast is their job.
no moving.
Delivering
is
products is their job.
no moving isn't that. No, it's like in the job description isn't. Can you take a good portrait on the
But
run?
Christian, I'll let you know this though. In some cases, people didn't fold their boxes, and we would have to fold the boxes. And I tell people, just so you know, if like you should fold your boxes because when we have to do it, say that takes a minute, you're doing 50, 60 plus deliveries in a day. That's an hour
Yeah.
of just folding boxes.
What do you mean folding boxes?
Hang on,
Like
what,
they're made up and you got to flat pack
but how
them.
long does this conversation you're having with them take as well? on top
As
of
I'm
that?
folding the box down,
you're
I'm
doing
just saying that to them.
Well, that's great. Absolute madness. Absolute. What was that?
What
was that?
just one follow on from that
funny.
was one time I got some food delivered and we're at a Game Boys rehearsal and it said it had been delivered and I was like, that's weird. I went out and then I went, oh, that's weird. And I think I saw the phone. It's like, must be. And I was like,
Wait, is
round
this
the
the
corner.
brickwork story again?
And I went out and then I saw the car and he was starting to, I was like, oh, that must be the thing.
Oh, shit.
And I sort of stepped out into the road and it was starting, and he like sped up to almost hit me.
What?
And I was like, what is going on?
Why did he do
And
that?
Fucking went off.
So he stole your food?
I think, I don't know if he stole it or, because then the neighbors, it wasn't there. And I was like,
That's weird.
what?
Is it worth
So I
enough?
think he probably stole the food.
Yeah. So how far could you get? You are employed by Uber as a delivery driver with the sole purpose of stealing someone's meal. So you get presumably.
Wait, what?
Dion,
You get employed by
I have
Uber.
I have a mission to steal someone's meal.
Okay.
I go to Uber. I get a job
Yep.
as a delivery driver.
Yeah.
Is it worth the investment that I only get to steal one meal?
Hey, it depends depends on the meal. We're always trying to keep our meals down to $20 a person.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's flour drum or if it's like.
Well, that's it, right? So maybe you're delivering a few orders, having a peek inside the bag. Eventually, you get the jackpot, and you're like, "I'm prepared to lose my job
That's what I mean. I'm like,
for this meal."
It's an interesting point.
Surely that's the end of job, right? Surely.
If that's your only.
I'd love to know how many chances you get.
Unless
Yeah.
you take incredibly good photos
Yeah,
of the food.
yeah, they're like-
He's a great photographer, but he steals everything.
I mean, look at the framing. It's gorgeous.
I'm assuming that, yeah, they would just get rid of people. I mean, that's the difference between a contractor and an employee, isn't it? Shall we move on to that now?
Josh, you were saying that you're quite particular with the way you wanted to do the deliveries, the photos.
Yes.
You're particular with some other things as well, right? Your percolator,
My percolator, yes.
also known as, in my language, a macchinetta.
A macchinetta.
A cafetiera.
A cafetiera.
Oh my God.
Is that what you're referencing when you say percolator?
Stovetop.
Stovetop. Perfect.
Wait,
Stovetop coffee guy.
okay, great.
For someone who doesn't drink coffee, Dion.
It's a stove.
You know the- you know the little
started drinking
Bialetti?
coffee.
The little,
What?
You know the little silver Bialetti?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah.
That wasn't just a fad.
Oh,
You're
this-
drinking coffee now.
Well, yeah, I don't need it though, but I'll drink coffee.
Can-
If I go for
Can
coffee,
we
I'll go
talk
for
to you
coffee.
before you've had your
This-
coffee? Is that okay?
It's pretty like, yeah, I'm having the effects of that everyone else is having. Not the pooing. The pooing's fine.
the pooing's wonderful.
No, the pooing's always bad. Let's be honest.
That's one of the perks.
No. Well, percolator.
Thank you.
Anyway,
We're
Josh.
back.
Josh, you was.
Yeah, so I have a little single one at my place. Live in a share house. Very happy for other people to use it. And I've noticed recently, also, I got it new and I take particular care of it. I'm like, I want to keep this really clean.
Yes.
Read the instructions. I'm like,
Yeah.
give it a good clean because I hear it sort of retains it a bit better.
Okay. In the instructions, do they specify cleaning?
Yeah, it's like you don't need to like go nuts and use detergent. It's like just water's fine.
Is it really not? Is it like is it made in Italy kind of
Yeah,
thing?
it's a
Like
proper one.
It's a proper one. Okay.
Yeah.
Bialetti is the...
That's the one.
That's the standard.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little single one. Anyway, so I take quite good care of it because I found that the older ones that get all the stains and everything, people are like, oh, it adds to the flavor. I think that tastes really bitter. So I'm like, I don't want to have that happen to mine.
Wow.
So...
I'm turned on.
And I've not been drinking coffee that much lately, but someone in my house has been using it. And I've been coming home from work and I see it on the drying rack.
I love how you're saying someone. I mean, you
I
live
don't
with.
really know.
Oh, you don't
Well, I
know
live
this
with
person?
3 people.
Yeah, 3 people. Okay.
So I haven't really confronted them about this yet. So hopefully, if we can get this podcast to them. So anyway, I've been coming home from work
Great call.
and seeing it, and I go, I'll just have a look, and it's just not cleaned to the level that I want it cleaned. It's been cleaned and rinsed, but I can like see bits of coffee in there. So I get in there. There's still bits on the rubber seal that I want cleared out because that really gets in there.
Yeah, especially coffee acid.
Yeah.
Like the acid from the coffee is quite corrosive.
Yeah. And so one thing I mentioned to one of my housemates, I was like, oh, hey, I've noticed sometimes after you finish your coffee, if you could just untwist it because it takes the pressure off the seal. You don't have to clean it then and there, but if you just untwist it as a starting point. So that was what I was willing to do. But then I've been finding it not this clean. So I've had to like clean it myself. And I'm at the point of like, it's not unclean. Like it's not filthy, but I want it cleaned more. Am I, what's the play? Do I just accept it to be like, well, they're using it, they're cleaning it. I have high standards, or like it's my thing. People, if they wish to use my goods, should meet my standards. Christian, what do you think?
Wow. As someone who has high standards, Josh, the first thing that comes into my head is, I think, cost of the item.
Yep.
Because for a macchinetta, for a cafetiera, you know,
it sounds good, doesn't it, Dion?
God, yes. God, it's good. Keep going.
A one cupper,
Yes, it's a single.
$30,
No,
right?
I think it was 4.
Then you overpaid. If you want another one, come and speak to me.
Okay.
But let's say 30 to 40, okay?
Sure.
That, I don't want to sound like a pompous asshole here, but can you be an asshole to someone else about how they've cleaned it for an item that you could eventually replace after a few years for $30, $40?
Yeah, I don't think the cost of it is a thing.
I said it's the first thing I thought of, but I didn't say it's the thing. Dion, please.
No. It's a good question. Does the cost of the item? I think it's more the cost in inverted commas to Josh. Like the cost is that Josh's desire is for that to last a long time.
Yes.
Also, knowing Josh doesn't want to live in a disposable world where you're just replacing shit all the time.
That makes me sound good.
But then the question is, I guess you have to think about how that person will respond when taking that feedback. Can you do it? Can you say it in a way that's very non-confrontational? I don't know if you can, Christian.
I think the issue
I think you
is
could.
because it would almost require a demonstration, and that feels ridiculous.
That's
to be
so
like
funny.
To be like, you really have to like get in here and this bit and really like
But
get your
what's
fingers
wrong
here.
with that?
That's so
Because
funny.
I would love to do that with people.
That seems I cannot
But
imagine.
it seems crazy because then they go, all right, relax.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about,
and
right?
That's
Yeah.
such a shit response because it's like, are you saying all right, relax because I like to look after my things? Is that what you're asking me to relax about?
Maybe this is the first step in Josh moving out of a share house. Maybe it's finally
I love that
starting
this
to
is
grow.
the straw that broke the camel's back after how long? 20 years?
Well, I've been at this place for 8, so. Yeah.
But it's just the fact that when you're living on your own, you just don't need to worry about any of that stuff unless you're living with your partner. How would you feel if it was your partner that was like...
That feels different to me. I feel like I'd probably just let that go more, I think.
So what's that?
So that's love, but I think Dion, you and I...
And what's that?
That's compromise and love. And Dion, I think you and I really struggle with...
But speaking of, I did actually bring this up with my girlfriend, and I was like, I think about talking about this on the podcast. And she said, well, make sure you mention this.
Here it is.
When I was helping her do something, because it's also about if someone's helping you do something or doing something for you, can you criticize it? That's also plays a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So I was helping her hang her washing out. And when I hang her washing out at my place, socks and undies, I just throw them over and they're fine. They just hang there.
Yeah.
Whereas...
No pegs, right?
No pegs. Pegless.
Sometimes you need a peg
Whereas
on a rack.
No pegs.
Whereas at her place, she's got a Hills hoist, very windy. When I do that, they just blow about the garden. They come off. And so then... The most recent time when I was helping her hang that out, she's like, just a reminder, if you're going to do socks, you need to put pegs on them. I'm like, no worries. So you know what I did? I did not hang up any socks or undies. I just avoided them completely.
Hang on.
And I was like, I'll let you do it.
Because
then.
you're a defensive arsehole.
No. But Josh is putting up the other stuff, so it's still divvying.
I didn't stop putting stuff up.
Didn't stop.
I put stuff up the whole time.
But out of protest.
Not protest, just
Really
like
funny.
if you want it done your way.
That is protest.
No.
Josh, that's bullshit.
It's not protest.
You drew a line by not selecting a single sock.
But it didn't matter because
It's
I was
not
like,
kind.
if you want it done your way, you have full control over doing that.
But
now.
it's not.
That is pathetic.
No, but it's
But I
not.
hung stuff up the whole time.
It's not. It's not.
I didn't stop and be like, oh, looks like there's socks and undies left. Off you go.
No, but ultimately, you're not in a long-term relationship. You're not supporting her decisions. You're not.
I am supporting it.
No.
'Cause, hey, Dale, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Did I hang up any socks and undies without pegs?
Which
No.
which is a louder statement? Hanging up the socks and the undies with pegs and saying, you know
I
what,
love
I
you.
can take on advice and change, or hanging up everything else than socks and undies.
Hang on. What about if?
But I did change. I have changed.
What about
Just not in the way she wants.
What about if it was? That's great. What about if it was just socks and undies that you were putting up?
Great question.
Of course, it's not a great question. It's the natural next question.
I would use pegs, 100%.
I love that
I
you
would
think
grab
that's
pegs.
Would
the
you though?
natural next
I would.
question.
Yeah, no, that is the
An
natural.
entire load of socks and undies.
Okay, and then what about if you go out with her and you got nothing to hang? What are you doing? Natural next question.
But I think that particular comes down to a little bit of like, you said you want the, and obviously this is not a complex process, right? It's pegs on a thing, but teasing out the idea, it's you
Yes.
want this thing done in a particular way. I'll just let you do it then.
Is there something, Dion, that you can think of, like a cafetiera macchinetta, that you have a very similar response to where you... Because in my mind,
Yeah.
you are not someone who is protective over your belongings.
No, I'm not. I'm not very particular at all.
No,
Because-
you would give me something and I don't think you'd watch how I handle that
Nah,
thing.
I don't care. And you know what? Even like when I went away, I gave you a few things to borrow when I was away for 6 months.
Yep.
If you would have I gave you a good set of headphones. If you would have broken the cord on those headphones, I would have been like, yeah, buy another cord. But I wouldn't have been annoyed about it.
Yeah.
I don't really care
I
about
couldn't handle that.
really.
Lending someone something and then breaking it.
But what about it?
that's...
It's dreadful.
Yeah,
But what
that's-
about
hang
it-
up the socks?
But hang on, presumably they've broken it. They haven't done it on purpose.
No, they haven't.
But you'd be
they've-
furious.
but I
I'm
think
not never borrowing
but
anything.
it's through lack of care. That's why that's happened. Because
No,
I care for it.
no,
is. Because
it can
I
be
care for my things.
No, it can be absent-mindedness as well, which is not care.
The best part about this discussion is we've hit on this exact point of tension between Josh and
Which is
Dion.
neurodiversity.
You fall on absolute opposite ends of the spectrum here. And I definitely, the problem is I have shades of Dion. I don't think I care that much.
50 shades of Dion.
If it was returned to me broken, I'd go, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
But I also, when I share things with others, have an eye on, make sure you look after it because it's my
someone
thing,
else's property.
And this is
Yeah.
the way I like to look after it.
As an example, I borrowed your backpack when I was traveling overseas.
Yep.
I haven't returned it yet. I don't know why, because I cleaned it.
Yep.
But haven't told you this. One of the zip, one of the elastic things on the zip broke off.
It broke off.
Sorry. How would you? That's a good
The
example. of
elastic things on the zip.
those things
A thing like part of that is
wear,
kind of like
normal wear and tear.
I would
if you want to
say,
use that term.
I would
sure.
say the fair trade would be a fridge friend.
Yeah. Just
that-
chuck some in the bag.
But it's normal wear
Few
and
bananas?
But it's normal wear
It
and
is
tear.
normal wear and tear.
It is normal wear and tear.
And if it doesn't impact the core functionality of the bag,
Yes.
then I think it's a mistake. It's fair wear and tear.
hang on.
yes.
Here's a question for you, Dion. When you're zipping that zip, are you pulling by the zip or by the elastic loop?
What am I meant to do? And then I'll answer you.
I think you should find it easily with the elastic bit, but then grab a hold of the metal zip to actually zip it.
Very interesting, Christian. What's the purpose of the elastic zip on a
Can I-
loop and a zip?
Wait, can I say that giving you the bag,
Yep.
because of my experience with the way that you handle goods,
Here it comes.
I anticipated
Yes!
more damage
Oh.
than what's been done.
Okay.
So I had mentally prepared myself for
Yeah.
there being like fundamental errors, issues with the bag.
Literally returning
Yeah,
it.
but
burnt.
also I know that you're the type of person that if you'd done that, you would have been like, I'll get another bag or
Of
I'll
course.
get this fixed.
Oh yeah, I'd
So I
recommend you
wasn't-
get another bag because that bag sucked.
Free to criticize. I did not expect criticism of my goods.
Oh, I wish I could take the last 6 months back.
Oh god. You know what? Out of the blue, I got a bone to pick with Christian.
Oh, God.
Sorry, this is from left field.
Yep.
I have to ask this in a safe space. Christian, you just bought a house. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Why are you getting shutters?
Roller shutters?
Yeah, I need to know this.
Because 3 of the windows face west.
Yep.
And the sun is intensely hot.
Get double glazed windows. Don't get shutters. You will reinforce your Italian stereotype like all fuck.
Wait, I got a quote for roller shutters.
Yeah.
We're also going to get a quote for awnings too.
Why do you need both?
We're getting a quote for
exploring his
Oh, why
options.
not one or the other?
A sense of but what you're saying that it would be too Italian to get roller shutters?
Yeah, it's too secure. I've just got one other question. One other bone to pick.
I got a bone to pick.
Why are you getting 24-hour surveillance security for your house? A genuine question.
24-hour surveillance
Why do you need?
security.
So you're getting? Why would you? You're getting like a company to install it. Why wouldn't you get like a?
I'm installing my.
Like
I'm just getting. I'm getting it wire. Like I'm going to wire it through the roof.
So you want to? You're gonna wire it? You can't wire. Josh can hardly wire.
No, because it's power
got
over
wire.
Ethernet. It's PoE.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can do that yourself if you have roof access.
Oh, that's nice.
I'd say it's because he wants security in his house. Is why he wants that.
But I'm
Yeah,
just.
yeah,
But you're going. It's a
Look.
new neighborhood. You're going in there with like shutters up, security lights on.
Knocks over here.
We're gonna put a really tall fence at the
Yeah,
front.
shut 'em
Interesting.
out.
So this
It's
is
mainly because we're planning on starting a family.
Yep.
And it's all about securing my borders.
Yeah. I think the roller
A man's
shut.
home is his castle.
The shutters are they going to look ethnic?
Yeah.
Go and get a moat.
There's no way.
few spike traps.
I'll get a pizza oven at the back. Yeah.
Just one thing I did actually want to touch on. I thought was a very interesting point that we in the last discussion.
Yes.
I said it was about not caring for something.
Yep.
And you said it's absent-mindedness rather than carelessness.
Yes.
I think it's a very interesting point because I view it purely as that because I put myself in other people's shoes,
Yes.
but I don't empathize with some people's brains work differently.
Exactly.
And it's like, I didn't mean to do that, Josh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, totally.
When I cleaned the coffee, I thought it was clean.
No,
I
but
tried.
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause
So you have
yeah.
to appreciate that Dion is sometimes reckless in the way that he handles people's backpacks.
Yes.
And it's just backpacks and percolators.
backpacks
and
and
percolators.
percolators.
I feel like I'm very precious about kitchen cleaning.
Yeah.
In particular, dishwashing. Any kind of soap scum or oil left on items, and my partner can vouch for this. Wow. It really irks me when there's any kind of oily film. And I'm also really anal about any kind of thing, like a food stuff, like Tupperware, plate, glass, whatever, touching the surface of a table without something in between those
Really?
two. I can't
Gotta
stand
get
it.
over that.
I think no.
Why?
See, this is
It's so aligned with what you said before.
I do it for glassware. Plates, I don't care.
wait. Glassware. Something has to be in
On
between.
our kitchen table, I will always put a coaster down. But it feels odd to not put a coaster down.
That's right. It's the same with plates.
If it's hot, I agree with you. Cold plate, don't worry about it.
Why? It's about.
Oh, I love
it's
cold
about-
plate.
Oh man,
Great.
that is
Play the song.
That is unbelievable. Holy shit! I wanted to
we
talk-
have such low standards. Seriously, it's not that good.
That's fantastic.
It's great.
Yeah, I guess.
that's
If you're
good.
watching YouTube, Josh's t-shirt is all yellow.
Mate, what is happening right
I've
now?
had 6 months off. It's all built up.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Wow. May as well stop the podcast.
By the way, his last song that he released as a single is the worst, laziest song I've ever heard. Go listen to Coldplay. Go listen to Chris
Well, that's
Martin's
not very
last song.
funny at all.
It was, it's fucking shit. Oh, what a glorious ending to Patrick. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to be with you regularly. We'll be here every 2 weeks.
we're gonna try to do every 2 weeks.
Sorry, that's the edit. Every 2 weeks, releases Wednesday morning. Here's a fun fact.
We wanna get back to it.
A fun fact, 3 a.m. is when we typically release the episode.
That is a fun act.
It is a fun
act?
fact.
So if you're a real
act.
fan, get up early.
Yeah.
Get us in your ears.
Sometimes I do 3:30 though, Dion.
I'd love to know if there's anyone that listens right when they wake up at
First thing in the morning.
It's always the crack of dawn, isn't it?
It is.
We have social media. We've given up
Yeah.
on a few, but continue to push Instagram.
We're going to try doing clips as well.
Yeah,
We're going to try.
Yeah, and so this is me making a commitment
Yeah,
on
good.
air
Holding down to account.
that you might see sort of little clips coming out. Like them, share with your friends. We don't give a shit.
If you haven't gone to YouTube yet,
Ever.
consume. It's youtube.com. Consume the podcast as a video. I think you'd really enjoy it. We have
Who are you talking to?
Dion.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking to me. I do.
I'm looking at
It's
you.
great. No, you love it.
We
You
have
love
an
that
auto
medium.
switching camera angle. Like it's all very easy. It feels like a TV show. Do
Yeah.
it. It's fantastic.
We also have a Patreon. We thank our patrons very much for their support. Helps cover the costs of putting this show on.
And after each recording, we record the bonus patch, and they get that in a separate feed. So if you want to sign
off
up
week.
in the off week,
Cool.
patreon.com/welcome to patchwork. And as we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into your quilt this week? Our quilt.
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week was Christian living inside Dion's fridge and installing shutters and 24-hour surveillance. Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch you refusing to use a peg when hanging your percolator on the line. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is me going around the neighborhood examining different fences whilst yelling, "Hot pies, cold plates." Thank you, Christian, and thank you. Thank you for listening for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Cold pie.
Cold pie.
Cold pies.